Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you are a subscriber of mine. Today's video is going to be a review of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. This is a newer incarnation of the former Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is the Ultra. This is for 4K technology. It is to be invisible on a 4K camera and to the naked eye. Perfect for the makeup pros and for you. I'm not going to go in too much of a description of the claims because this might be the third or fourth or 10th review on this product that you're watching. So you kind of want me to cut to the chase, I'm guessing. So I'm going to go right to my demo on my skin and then come back at the end for more thoughts and just my final impressions of this foundation and my recommendations. So enjoy the demo and I'll see you in a few minutes. So I have used this foundation for a couple days now, and I have learned that I definitely need to wear a primer with this. I did a test day where I did half my face in just the foundation and another half using primer, and by far the primer side held up so much better. I mean, there was a pretty dramatic difference in the side that had the primer and the side that did not. So I am very oily skin, so I'm going to, and I have large pores, so right off the bat, if you are oily, even the slightest bit, definitely use a primer. I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing. So I am going to put this primer, it's a colorless primer, it just helps refine the look of my large pores. And I have found the best application for this to be a beauty blender. I tried it with a brush, I tried it with my fingers. I just liked the, I didn't see that much of a difference between the brush and the beauty blender, to be honest, but I don't know, I just feel like I get more into the pores with the beauty blender versus with the brush. It kind of sits over them, and I have to go in with, a lot of you know I like to use my MAC Oval 3 brush to really work the product into my large pores around my nose and up here. So the color I am using today is 127, and I had gotten a sample of 123, which I will swatch both for you at the end. I like the 123. I found that it was a little bit yellow on my skin. They're very similar, but then when I went to Sephora to actually purchase it wearing no makeup. So I swatched them both, the 127 and the 123, kind of narrowed it down. And I just like, normally I like a little bit more yellow, but this was just absolutely perfect for my skin. Here we go. I am going to put, and as I said already, that I have used this foundation for a couple days now. So I'm aware of the coverage and what I need to do to get the level of coverage that I want. So you can see this still has some yellow to it. I never go toward anything pink because I like a little bit of yellow to knock out the redness in my skin. And I always bring it down my neck a little bit. So I do this side first because I don't know if you saw, but I have some marks from old breakouts. They're definitely getting better, but that is really my test, like if it's gonna cover this in one pass. And it covers it okay, but not great. The best thing about this foundation is really just its undetectability on the skin, which is how it's marketed, which is how it's being sold, as a true, undetectable foundation on the skin. So it is a nice light coverage. It's not like the sheerest foundation I've ever worn, so I actually almost would veer towards a medium, because I don't know if you guys remember, those of you who have been around for a long time like me may remember when Gerard Cosmetics first came out with her foundation. It was basically like water. It was an oil-free foundation. It was meant to be for us oily skins, but it had no coverage. It was so runny. I mean, this is years ago. And it was like putting nothing on your face. It was just like water. So I always thought to myself, what's the point of this? But so this is more than that. This is definitely a little bit more coverage. So there's the side with the foundation, there's the side without. It knocked out my redness. It doesn't sink into the pores. It just looks really nice, like nice natural skin. And I have to say, it photographs better than any foundation I have ever used. And I'll get to like the wear, like if it's long wear, like how long lasting it is basically, you know, after this, when I just kind of sit back and talk to you guys. So again, nice medium, light to medium coverage. Now, I never wore the other one, so I can't speak to whether or not this is more or less coverage. I don't remember why I didn't like the original one. I don't know, something about it didn't work for me. I think it was just that it didn't wear very well. I think that was the reason. I don't know. Maybe just because I had so many others to try, I never got around to giving it enough of a chance, maybe. So as you can see, I'm adding a little bit as I go in the areas that I do need more coverage. And then I always have to go like around my nose. I have just terrible broken capillaries. Okay. So this is it. Just really nice, natural looking skin. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my face. I'm gonna set it with powder for sure, because I need to set every foundation with powder, regardless of if I get oily or not. So I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup, set it with powder, and see you in just a couple seconds. Okay, so that was me applying the foundation. As I mentioned in the video, I used the shade 127 after getting a sample of 123. So here is 123. Now there are tons and tons of shades, so I do recommend getting color matched if at all possible, rather than just ordering online. So here is the 123, and then I will do, get that off there. I will do a little pump of the 127. Okay, so here on the bottom is the 123, and then here is the 127. Now what's interesting is here in my lighting, the 123 definitely looks darker, a lot darker, but in the store it really didn't. They looked so similar. So maybe that's why this one was kind of appearing a little extra yellow on my skin. This 127, it definitely, you know, the hand is not the best place to ever test a foundation, but you can see it. You could see it in the video, you can see it on me now. It's a really good color match for me. So if you're someone like me that you can't quite get the perfect match in MAC, you might vary from a NC20 all the way to an NC30. I'm not sure an NC20 would be in the shade 127, but if you kind of find yourself in that middle ground where you can be an NC25 or an NC30, then this 127 is a great, would probably be a great shade for you, especially if you're one to not like the pinker tones, nor do you like anything that's super yellow. So color-wise, color selection is great. Application, you saw, I said it's light to medium. I don't really know if this is definitely not a full coverage foundation. If you're an Estee Lauder double wearer, or you are a MAC Studio Fix Fluid wearer, this is not that kind of coverage. If you are a Kat Von D tattoo foundation, don't even touch this, don't even pick up the bottle. But you may also be someone like me who likes to own a variety of different coverages, have foundations that are for different occasions in your life. You might wear one type of foundation for every day. You might wear like a tinted moisturizer every day. You may know that you're gonna be going out for, or working an 8-hour shift, and you want a definitely long, or 10-hour, 12-hour shift. You definitely want a long wear foundation. This isn't gonna be that. For me, this foundation is gonna be for when I record, because I love the way it shows up on camera. I love the way it photographs. And I would probably use it for a maybe not so long night out, like a girls' night out, or even a date with my husband where I'm gonna be out for maybe anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. So I don't need it to wear 8, 10, 12 hours, because I did wear it to work, which my work day is only 6 hours. So I'm lucky in that respect, you know, but a lot of you out there work much longer hours than that and need a foundation to last much longer than that. So, I probably should have mentioned, a lot of you are gonna be watching this, have never watched a video of mine, so you don't know that I am really oily skinned. So much so that after, with any normal foundation, even one that claims to be oil controlling, within 2 hours I am blotting, I am shiny. So I did mention in the demo that I have to wear a primer with this, and the primer side was definitely a no-go. By maybe 3 hours into my shift, I was oily. A lot of it had disappeared all off along my chin and through here, my cheeks, but this side that I had the primer on looked really good. Not great, but good. I'm used to, when I go to work, I wear a fuller coverage foundation because I like my skin to look like uber flawless. But sometimes I'm not sure if that flawless translates in person. People always, thankfully, they compliment me on my skin when I'm at work, but I never know if it's a little bit heavy looking, because sometimes with that coverage comes, you know, something that's more unnatural looking. So this is definitely super natural looking. Agree that is undetectable on the skin. Camera just loves it. But if you are oily, primer, primer, primer. If you are somebody who is oily and doesn't want to buy a bunch of different foundations, just wants that one holy grail foundation, this is not for you either, my super oily folks. This is definitely not going to be your holy grail foundation if you're oily and you need a long wear. But if you want that one that, as I said a few minutes ago, that if you're going to go out for 4 or 5 hours and you just want, you're going to be taking photographs and you just want an undetectable finish, then give this one a try. If you're drier, I'm not sure. You'll have to watch somebody maybe who can attest to that, who is of a drier skin. That would be more of a reputable review, I suppose, because I don't have any dry skin in any way, shape, or form. So I hate to say, yes, it'll work for a dry skin, but I'm gonna assume it could only work better because it worked good for me, oily, with a primer. It will look better if you're not such an oil slick like myself. So that said, it didn't settle into my pores. It didn't get super shiny. Like I've reviewed in the last month or so the Too Faced Born This Way, where I just felt very slick. My face just felt slick. I've also reviewed the Clinique Porefecting. Face felt very slick. And that is just, if you're oily, you know that is not a good feeling. It is not a good feeling to feel like your face has been like slammed into a vat of Crisco. That is not a good feeling. You don't want to have to go through 20 different blotting papers or use your whole MAC blot powder and just keep going. But speaking of powder, I did set this. I set this with my Makeup Forever Pro Finish Powder, which I really, really like. It is in the shade 117 in that. One final note on this foundation is going to be breakouts, potential breakouts. I was talking to another makeup artist when I was working at Ulta the other day, and I was telling her that I was test driving this foundation. And she said, oh, I can't touch Makeup Forever, it totally breaks me out. And I thought to myself, that's interesting because I've been waking up with a couple extra pimples along here. And since I've been on this new medication for my skin, I really haven't been breaking out. So I'm not sure. I definitely cannot say whether or not this is going to break me out. I don't like to just automatically assume it's that, but it's leaning towards it possibly breaking me out. So once again, this is I bought the full size. I did go back and buy the full size because I liked the finish that much, and I thought it, again, camera ready, and I am filming, so, and I take lots of pictures for my Instagram. So basically, I did like it enough to buy a full size, but for me, it's gonna be in my rotation. It's not gonna be my everyday, especially if it breaks me out. So that is all. I hope I covered everything. I covered color, covered price, the bottle. You can pick it up at Sephora or I believe on the Makeup Forever website. Normal, combo, dry, and you like a natural look, you're probably gonna really like it, and you don't require full coverage or a super long wear, you are going to love it. Those who are gonna hate it, bottom line, oily skins that need a foundation to last all day long. This is not that. So I highly recommend, if you are super oily skin that needs a foundation to wear all day long, the MAC Pro Longwear, which I have a review of, Estee Lauder Double Wear, Color Stay even. I'm not a hugest fan of that, but I have other clients and friends that love Color Stay, combo to oily formula. And also Color Stay Whipped, I've liked in the past. Kat Von D Tattoo, so again, oily long wear. So that is all for my review of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. As always, I hope you found it helpful in making your decision on whether or not to purchase this foundation. I know not every review is going to appeal to everyone. I do appreciate, for those of you who give a thumbs down, if there's a specific reason, I'd like to know. Like I had somebody comment that they didn't like in the Pro Longwear review that I didn't, you know, some people splash water on their face to show you that it's waterproof. I didn't do that. I'm not gonna do everything. You know, some people are more thorough than others. I try to be as thorough as possible, but you know, you just can't please everyone. But I hope that for the majority of you, you found this helpful, and that if you liked what you saw and you want to see more of my tutorials and reviews, please subscribe. It's free and it makes me feel really good. I'm really trying to build a good channel for you all. Comment and give me a thumbs up, and also as I stated, you can follow me on Instagram at Risa Does Makeup for pretty much daily makeup looks. Sometimes I do fashion, sometimes I post just random dumb stuff, so doesn't everybody though? So that's all. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you very soon.